Greetings, everybody. I would like to thank everybody that watched the video when I explained about the land that I bought, and I'm currently working on that. I rode by there. The grass is dying nicely. I just gotta do another round, couple of rounds of it, and get ready to knock it down this winter. I got 5 or 6 comments I think that said they would like to see a video about how to buy land from the commissioner of land, not have the middleman involved, or all these percentages and stuff like that. And all that is fine, when you're buying a house and stuff like that. But if you're like me, I always say there's got to be a better way, more than one way to skin a cat, and this is just another way to skin the cat. And it's gonna be pretty laid back. This is not gonna be the how it mostly be, but just kind of just talk to you, man. Have a conversation. So, I found out about this one time. I was working, this is when I was young. I think I was working, I was like 19 or 20, working at a hospital. And this guy was bringing around this article. And it, back in the day, they used to have an article in the paper, like a little newsletter or something. And it had all the parcels of land in it. And I remember asking him about it. And he would never give me an answer. He would never say, well, let me show you how to do it. He would never say, this is what you do. He would say, you just got to figure it out like I did. And that's kind of why we in a lot of positions we are now, is that kind of mentality, instead of just passing game down. They want to say, you got to figure out like I did. Or now, in this age, not everybody trying to charge for a master class, master class for everything. So I'm not that kind of dude. I believe in, helping everybody out if I can. It's one way, I can put it on wax. Because when you try to explain this to a person in a 5-minute conversation, it's really a lot to digest. So I'm going to take my time and break it down, and try not to be too long. But first of all, you need to be able to research the land that you if you find land that you interested in purchasing. So that's probably 80 to 85% of it is the research. 3 sites: the State of Arkansas Commissioner of Lands, COSL.org. This is where, if you don't pay your taxes or real estate taxes within 5 years, they can certify your land to the state, and they will list it for auction. This is the public auction catalog, and it has it for each county. We're in Pulaski County. So the next Pulaski County auction is, when is it? It's supposed to be coming up here pretty soon. Usually it's in the middle of the year, but unless they moved it. Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. Oh God. Trying to find it. I see Celine. 9:14. Usually it's before Celine. Maybe I just take my time and look at it. It'll pop up. There you go, Pulaski County, right here. Pulaski County is July 13th, 2023. Now, here's the caveat most people don't want to talk about, right? A lot of investors, a lot of developers, people who got money, goes to the auction, and they get the stuff that's great, that most people that's middle class, or you don't have that kind of money drop at one time. You're probably not gonna get the best of the best unless you have the money and you ready to go in a bidding war for the land. However, there's this thing called the post-auction sales. This is the stuff that they don't want. This is the stuff kind of they don't want to get. And pretty much, to sum this up, is there used to be a time where you could just go up to the commissioner of lands. So let's say somebody owed $500 in taxes. You drop $500 on their parcel, and when you drop the 500, they will send a notification to the owner, and they would have so many days to respond. And if they didn't respond or make the payment on the taxes that they owe, which was the 500, they would begin the process to transfer ownership and print out the deed in your name. That's the simplest way to describe it, like in simplest terms. And that's pretty much what this is. If somebody does not pay their taxes in 5 years, their land gets certified to the state. After it's certified to the state, it goes up for auction. You can go to the main auction and you can drop however much. You might have to go into a bidding war. And that's kind of where the best parcels are. And when after that, the parcels that don't sell or get bidded on, it falls to the post auction sales. And when it falls to the post auction sales, they have a new way that they do it now, which I think is actually pretty cool. I'm gonna sign in real quick. You go down to start bidding, and you go to the map view, acknowledge. So you go to any county, Pulaski, and if you know in different counties, you may can find different land in different counties. I don't know different counties like that because I don't want to go in the wrong county and be in the wrong land, you know what I'm saying? So what I am in Pulaski County. So when you look at this from a Pulaski County standpoint, you see different parcels. It has a parcel number, has the owner, and it has if it's any acres. Usually they don't keep up with the acres. Every now and then they do, but usually you have to kind of research that and look that up. So, but as you can see, the starting bid is $11,621. That means that they owe that much in taxes, and this may be a nice parcel. Like if you click on it, it shows you where it is, right? So this is over here on 12th Street, right? So you may say, why is it 11,000 if it's just a lot? Well, then you gotta think about it. Is if it's on 12th Street, that could be considered a commercial deal. You know, it could be rated commercial. It has a Family Dollar by it. It has the Pick Pack liquor store. Now, you know, this is not Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, but for a lot of land, that's still not bad. I know they working on gentrifying that area. So if you was to buy that and just sit on that, maybe that could go up in the next 10 years. And this is the kind of stuff that people talk about with investing in real estate, right? Let's say you buy this, you got 11,000, you want to buy this. So what happened is you would click on this and you go down to bid, and when you go to bid, it tells you the delinquent year is 2015. So that means this land has been on here for a while, and it's telling me that developers don't really want to fool with this, because if they did, it wouldn't even be on here. It'd be off. But if you know the area, you from that area, and you can invest in something like this, you just never know what's coming down the pipe on 12th Street, because I think they getting ready to gentrify the area. It's just a matter of time before they do it. But to each his own. However, the owner, High Plains 2 LLC, I don't even know who that is. That'd probably be somebody out of town somewhere. Who knows? But the thing to think about is that 11,000. You place that bid, and I think it'll be for like 30 days. If you start that bid, it'll give you like 30 days. And if the owner, if you win the bid, they'll take the $11,600 as a deposit. And when they take that as a deposit, you have to pay that. They'll give the owner 10 days to respond, to pay those taxes, or to pay the 11, whatever is owed, they owe in taxes. And it's probably that 11,000. If they don't pay that in 10 days, the ownership would transfer over to you. They will be printing out the deed. It'll go to the courthouse. Courthouse will sign it up. The Pulaski County clerk will approve it, print out the deed, and they send it to you in the mail. That's what they did to me. I've done this a couple times. If you look at tax history, I think, does it show tax history? No, I don't show it all the time. Now, here's the deal. Let's look at this, right? Parcel number. We're going to take this. Then we're going to go over to the Pulaski County Assessor's Office, right? This is the kind of stuff you got to do. Nobody taught me this. I had to really kind of go through and figure this stuff out on my own, like, find out this information. So please, if you can, go to my channel, Mike Flair on YouTube, hit the like button, share it on Facebook. Go to my channel, subscribe, help me spread the word. I'm trying to change the game. I'm not trying to hoard information. I want to give back to the youth. I really want to help out and give the information and give game that I didn't give when I was younger. I figured I can go back and give it because it don't cost nothing to give people information. But now it seems like it does. Everybody charging for information. So now, when you go to the Pulaski County Assessor's website, you're going to go to look up property, and you can put in a parcel number right there, and then hit search. Look at that. The search is right there. West 14th Street, lot number 7, block 5. Owner, High Plains 2, LLC. Click on that link. Gives you the address, gives you the mailing address, and they're in California. They're in California, so they probably bought this as an investor, just holding on to it for tax write-offs or whatever. Who knows? But in this time, this is like the best time to catch somebody that with this COVID and stuff, because a lot of people just don't have the money like they used to probably. And then with inflation and everything, so they may not even try to contest you for this land, And then with it being close to a corner lot, check that out, right? But it gives you the information on the land, township, and all that. Then it tells you like, the transfer of ownership. And as you can see, they bought it in 2000. In 2015, they went delinquent on it, and it was certified to the Commissioner of Lands. They bought it from the Commissioner of Lands, and they didn't pay the taxes in 5 years, and it was transferred back to the Commissioner of Lands because they didn't pay the taxes. And think about this, right? It's not an acre, it's 7,000 square feet, but it's enough to build a house on. But I know that ain't the best area to build a house. That's over there by Pick Pack, a liquor store or whatever, but definitely not Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Definitely not Sesame Street. It's 12th Street. So 7,000 square feet. The land's appraised at 5,000. I think that's different when how they value land as far as assessing you and stuff. I think that's a little different. I'm not like totally versed on that. But they say the estimated taxes is $46.53 a year. I think that may be a little skewed. I think something happened that for it to be that high. And it said, though, it had city liens on it. That's probably why it's that high, too. The city may have went by and cut the grass over those 5 years and may have charged. Who knows how much they charge. But they have to, whoever buys that property probably going to be paying the liens. That's probably what the $11,000 going to cover. The liens paying back to the city. That's probably what happened. When you buy land in the city, you have to think about all of that kind of stuff. Like, you got to cut the grass still. You have to, if it gets to a certain height, the city will cut it for you, and they'll probably charge you $200 each time they do it if you don't do it. And they'll fine you for it as well. So it's something you got to think about when you buying land in the city limits and stuff like that in different areas. So with it being transferred back to the Commission of Lands, the next place that you want to go, let me copy that real quick, see if it, oh, come on, don't do that. Let's go back here. The next place you want to go is the Pulaski County Clerk's Office. These two places is the places that you're gonna have to go to a lot when you're trying to search for land, right? You go here and you go to real estate records. You go to real estate records. I don't know if it let me put the business name in there. We'll see. And hit enter. Okay. Usually, if it's somebody's name, you would have to put their last name first name last when you find the owner name. I'm gonna try to find somebody, a regular person that owns something, not a company, a LLC, here when we get done doing this. So you can see they got 9 real estate records. Hit show records. You gotta check the box first. Show records. So, as we can see, not only do they own that, but they have some other. That's the city liens I was telling y'all about. They got. Let's see how much this lien hit them for. Look at that. City of Little Rock through Kyra McTyler, who states on an oath that, yep, my name is Kyra McTyler. I'm the Code Enforcement Administrative Technician, Department of Housing and Neighborhood Programs. Yep. They mailed it to them, let them know that they did a cut and clean on May 4th, 2016. The code, and it cost $297.86. Now that adds up because it had another one. Was it to $297 too? $284. It keeps going up. If you notice that, it keeps going up. But what happened was they got a warranty deed. Back in the day, these are old deeds. How they look, they got a newer way how they print it out now. But this is when they first bought the land, and they got it, and now it's back on. Yep, this is when they bought it, or they redeemed it. Let me see. No, this is limited warranty. They bought this land for $3,000, $3,888 from the Commissioner of Lands, and the owner didn't come back and pay the taxes on it. So what you get with these lands, sometimes, a lot of times, it be some older people that own the land, and their family probably be like, I don't want to deal with that, and they just let it fall to taxes, or some people just don't even think about it. Once you go to 5 years, unless you pay them taxes, somebody can come get it from you, and it's, once you get this, it ain't nothing you can really do about it unless you pay before those 10 days are up. But you got to make sure you catch it in the mail, because they're not going to make every effort to reach out to you. You have to keep up. That's why I tell kids, like, ownership, you got to keep up with stuff like this. Most of the time when you have a mortgage, it's escrowed into your mortgage. But once you own the house, you still have to pay real estate taxes even after the mortgage. And that's something you have to keep up with, because you have 5 years. Once you get 5 years delinquent, you're done. It's going to the auction, whether you like it or not. Even if you foreclose on the house, if it's 5 years delinquent on taxes, it's going to go to the auction, whether you paying a mortgage or not. So you better think about that one. So let's find something. Let's find something that a person owns, not a LLC owns. Let's do that. Where is this at? Cornelius Brown. I don't even know who that is. Cornelius Brown. Over there in Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King and 19th Street. Looks like a nice little. Looks like an empty lot. Maybe it's a house on there. Let's look it up. Does it have an address on it? Let's see. Sometimes you can go to Data Scout Pro, and it gives you it doesn't say 1309 West 19th Street. This is the kind of research you got to do. You probably have so many tabs open. You probably be like, man, but if you want to get ahead, this is the kind of stuff you got to do, guys. This is nothing's given to you. You got to go get it. You got to be a go-getter. Let's see. 1309 West 19th Street. And as we can tell, see, this is the kind of research you got to do. I don't know who that dude is, but this is the kind of stuff you got to do, though. This is an empty lot. It probably used to be a house on it, but maybe it was in an accident or burned down, but it's an empty lot on Martin Luther King, off Martin Luther King and 19th, right? From the area, you know, I can tell this may not be Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, but you could buy. Here's the strategy, right? You can build a portfolio to have for leverage off of buying land like this, right? And let's say if you get 2 or 3 of these, and the land may be worth $10,000 each, you got $30,000. If you get 3 lots, that's $30,000 of collateral that you have. If you hold on to it and just keep the taxes up, it's gonna rot. Real estate never stays the same. It always goes up, especially with inflation. So that's something to think about. So let's look this person up, right? Let's go to Pulaski County Assessor, like I said. Pulaski County Assessor.net. Let's go there. Look up this person's name. No, let's look up the parcel number. Parcel number. Go down to look up property. Put that in there. Boom, Cornelius Brown. So this property probably has been on here for a while, and nobody wants to invest in it probably because the area is not probably not a area that developers are trying to get their hands on. So this is something that how much they want for this right now? Let's see, $5,000. Really, that's not bad for a lot, especially if it's level. You can build a house on. You don't have to live there. This can be a rental property. You can make this into a rental property. You know, build a house on it and rent it out. And this is the way to get started in something like that without having to buy $100,000 house. Or, you know what I'm saying, $5,000. Think about the kids who get refund checks. You know, you want to invest your money. You get that back in refund. You could buy a lot and hold on to that for real estate purposes, because you never know, the area may change. You know, every 10, 20 years, the area changes because the people either get older or they move away. The area may change. You know, the whole next generation, it may be a whole different area, you know what I'm saying? So you buy that land and hold on to it, you never know. That's why they say it's an investment, because right now, what is it valued at? It's saying it's appraised at $7,000. I think that's a little different. I think it may be more than that if you try to sell it. But, you know, that land could be worth, you know, $15,000, $20,000 easy just for the land. Just especially if you got utilities running to it already and stuff. Easy. You build a house on that, a regular size house, you know, 3-bedroom, 2-bath or something. I mean, that could be, I know the area is pretty rough, but you know, that still could be a $80,000, $90,000 house, and you only pay $5,000 for the land. So think about that. You'll come out on top. But looking at this, it lets you know that it's deeded historical, so that may have some value to it. It looked like that it used to have a house on it, but maybe it burned down or something. They had to tear it down because it kind of fell in like the other houses on there. Like when the houses get to the point where it start looking like this and it's abandoned and stuff like that, the city usually will put a red sticker on it to give you a warning, and then after a while they just tear it down. They'll demolish it because it's not making the neighborhood look better. So, and that's another thing I want to find. If anybody know about that, please let me know. How do you get ownership of those houses with the red tag on it? I've seen that happen a lot, especially in the area where I'm at. I see people buy those houses with the red tag on them. They take the tag off, remodel the house, and it looks like a brand new house, and they living in it. And I bet you they probably paid pennies on a dollar for that house, you know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of stuff we need to know about as a people, how to get into that kind of situation and not have to put yourself in debt. And you come out ahead if you can get that house for $50,000, $80,000, or if less than that, and you don't have to pay a hefty mortgage. You know what I'm saying? You can finance that, and then that's more comfortable living instead of trying to get a brand new house that's like insane. Building a new house now could cost you almost $300,000, but 5, 15, 20 years ago, that same house probably was $150,000. But with inflation, you have to figure out, how can I beat the inflation and not get caught up in it? You got to look for deals. You got to have the mindset, I got to find a deal. I got to be able to not get caught up in the inflation, but still be able to, better myself while everything's getting higher, finding deals on the low end to make so I can take advantage of inflation. So that's something to think about. Now, let's go to the Pulaski County Clerk's office and look up this guy. Sometimes you starting to figure out when you look up people. I know, no, clerk. I'm sorry, clerk. You start to find out that some people own so much land they probably can't even keep up with it. It's a lot for them to keep up with. And that's something you got to think about too. You get to buying land and you might have 10 or 20 parcels of land. You got to keep up with all the taxes and all that, man. That could be pretty, just remembering that. You have to remember that every year taxes are due. Let's see. So it would be Brown Cornelius. Definitely going to be, let's go to real estate records. Let's see. It's Brown Cornelius. Let's see. Bam. Brown Cornelius. Let's see. 19 records. See what we got. So, this guy has a lot of things he owns and a lot of liens that they the thing about these real estate records is it has all kind of stuff on here, not just your real estate stuff, but it also has medical liens. Like if they're trying to sue you if you don't pay your bills and stuff like that, they'll try to sue you. You have all this kind of stuff on your record, so you gotta be careful about that. It seems like he owns some other stuff. Let's see if this one. I see this. Yep, this is the one where they tell you about that warning notice. Yeah, this is it. 1309 West 19th. This is probably when they demolished the house. Wow. And this is why you got to do the research, guys. You just start finding out the story of how things kind of happen. And we spent almost 30 minutes just doing research. This is the kind of stuff you got to put in. Sit down, be able to look at a computer and do the research on the land. So before you buy it, so you can have the best informed decision on what you're buying and investing in. So it won't be no surprises. Usually the best land is to buy land with no property on it. You don't have to deal with no mortgage companies, because I'm not fully sure about that. That's part of my ambitions, to think about going to law school, learn about real estate law, so I can learn about the whole gambit of real estate and how to get deals and make deals, be a willing and dealing lawyer, baby. So that's one of my main goals, is to go to law school and learn about all the laws so nobody can run game, and I know what to say and what not to say and what to do and what not to do. But from this sounds like, just paraphrasing this, they're saying you got 15 days to begin substantial repair or to demolish the structure. If you fail to comply with this directive, the city will initiate legal proceedings against you and the property to abate the nuisance. You are required to secure this dwelling or structure in an approved manner within 7 days. Failure to secure all accessible windows, openings within the allotted time may result in the city taking appropriate action to have this accomplished, and the owner will be responsible for incurred costs. This pretty much saying, if you don't take care of your business, you don't seal this house up, we're going to demolish the house and you're going to pay for it. We're going to put the bill in your name. That lets me know that this land was demolished, I don't know what's the deal with this guy. Maybe he's no longer living, or maybe he is. Maybe he's just not into the land anymore. But there's a reason why most of the time that the land is delinquent. Either the person is older, can't take care of the land like he used to, or the taxes, or the person is no longer living. And if he's no longer living, the family either didn't know he even had the land sometimes, like they didn't know about the probate and stuff like that, or they just don't want to deal with it. It's like, you know what, that land is kind of in the hood. I don't care about it. Let it go to taxes. I don't want to deal with it. Let somebody else deal with the headache. But another man's headache is another man's treasure. So I wanted to break down the video, and let me know in the comments, if you want to do series like this. I can definitely do more series like this. We can look at different land options and things of that nature. But this is something that we need to do as a people. We need to learn how to level up and not always try to, do it the mainstream way. There's so many ways to skin a cat, so many ways to level up. But you have to be willing to do the research, put in the work, save up the money to invest, have the money to invest. Especially, you get extra chunks of money sometimes. You get blessed extra chunks of money. Invest it in something that can rise with inflation instead of buying things. I know I did that. Buy things that don't appreciate. They just depreciate. Material things, cars and rims and speakers and all that other stuff. All that stuff gets so old. Then next thing you know, that after 10 years, that stuff is irrelevant. So real estate always appreciates, even in the hood. It may not appreciate as fast as in the high end areas, but it still appreciates. Even if it's just $1,000 or $2,000, if you bought it for $2,000, it appreciates $2,000. Now it's worth $4,000. It's still better than buying a car that depreciates every year. You bought it for $15,000. By the time it gets older, you go to trade it in. They're only gonna offer you $5,000 for it. So I'm going to close on that. I'm going to sign out. Please like, share, and subscribe. Go to my channel on YouTube. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, comment, even share it on Facebook. Hey, let's flood Facebook with it. Let's share it. Holler at me. I know I'm busy with school, but if you're comfortable with doing a Zoom meeting, comfortable with, we can do a Zoom meeting, we can chop it up. I'm with that, as long as we clean, we don't have to cuss. That's my big thing. Let's just keep it clean, so that way, everybody can watch it. Kids can watch it with their mothers and fathers, and families can learn. We can do it together. Real estate agents, hit me up. Let's chop it up. Teach people about real estate. Teach people about this stuff. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna leave it right here. I'm going to sign out because I'm already 30 minutes. And I'm just chilling, just talking. Didn't even have a script this time. And I just wanted to share this information with you guys. And let me know in the comments what you think. I appreciate the viewership. I appreciate everybody watching and commenting and engaging. I appreciate that. I really do. And I'm signing out. Thank you very much.